pray for Queen. Palace confirmed unexpected sad news about Queen's health condition during pandemic. The Queen's health is of paramount importance during the pandemic, according to royal commentators, who claimed protecting the high-risk monarch was a key task. On Tuesday, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he hopes England can ride out the wave of infection without bringing in further health curbs. Mr. Johnson did, however, say that the NHS would feel temporarily overwhelmed amid the sharp rise in cases of the virus. For the last 2 years, the Queen has been dealing with the pandemic like the rest of the country. The 95-year-old monarch was considered in one of the groups most at risk of COVID due to her age. Royal journalist Emily Andrews recently claimed that keeping the Queen protected was one of the country's top priorities. Ms. Andrews was speaking for the Channel 5 documentary, 2021, The Queen's Terrible Year, which was released in November. Speaking about the pandemic in 2021, she said, "Keeping the Queen protected from coronavirus was of paramount importance. The Queen, Britain's longest-serving monarch, has been vaccinated, according to Buckingham Palace. She and her late husband Prince Philip, who died in April, received their second COVID jabs in January of last year. In a bid to reduce their risk of the virus, the couple also cut down the number of household staff they were in contact with." Dubbed HMS Bubble, the group of 22 staff also provided comfort to the Queen as she mourned Philip last year. Royal historian Hugo Vickers discussed the importance of keeping Her Majesty safe from infection during the Channel 5 film. Speaking about England's lockdown in January of last year, the expert said, "The Queen was 94. There was considerable concern for her safety, terribly important to protect the Queen. If we had lost the head of state in the middle of this, that would have been an absolute disaster." As last year drew to a close, the Queen's Christmas plans were also derailed by the spread of COVID. The royal family's usual festive get-together at Her Majesty's Sandringham estate in Norfolk was scrapped. A fascinating rare original photo of the Queen and her sister Princess Margaret starring in a royal pantomime has emerged for sale for £1,500. Princess Elizabeth was 18 years old when she starred as Lady Christina Sherwood in Old Mother Ed riding boots at Windsor Castle. Margaret, aged 14, played the Honourable Lucinda Fairfax in the 1944 Christmas production for the Armed Forces and local children. The photo and programme, which lists Elizabeth and Margaret as cast members, belonged to Stanley Williams, who was Superintendent of Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace. The 12x8 black and white photo, of the large ensemble cast on stage, shows the young Princess Elizabeth looking resplendent in a sparkling dress. Margaret is stood to her left in an elegant dress, and they are surrounded by dozens of other performers from the Windsor Castle community and the Royal Windsor School. The Royal Horse Guards Orchestra, who provided the musical accompaniment to the morale-boosting production, are lined up at the front of the stage. The photo and panto program, listing Elizabeth and Margaret as cast members and also part of the ballet scenes, belonged to Stanley Williams, who was Superintendent of Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace. He is mentioned as a manager of the pantomime in the program, and the archive has remained in his family for 8 decades. They are now selling the photo, which was taken by Royal Photographers Studio Lisa, program and a ticket for the show with auctioneers William George, of Peterborough, Cambs. A spokesperson for William George, who will auction the picture tomorrow, said, "Stanley Williams was a long-standing royal servant and was Superintendent of Windsor Castle and later Buckingham Palace prior to his retirement. Instead, the monarch spent Christmas in Windsor, where she was visited by a select few members of her family, including Prince Charles and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall.